Hello everyone, this is Saphira and Briar, and I know it's been a long while since I've actually talked on this channel. It's been a very long while. But I wanted to make a big announcement, and probably some of you know, probably not many of you know, that I was working on a book. I was working on my first book, and well, I finished it. And so I'm planning to have it completely published and available to the public in at least print form. I will probably eventually have it in ebook form, but definitely print form by the end of the month, probably that last Tuesday or something of the month. I will have it there. I will be available at least on Amazon, and I'll probably try to have it available on Barnes & Noble and Target, because I know there's a button through Amazon Publishing that allows other publishers to take it if they want it as well. So I think that libraries can have it as well. But anyway, the book is called A Compendium of Fragments. It is a little bit over 300 pages long. It is a collection of poems, journal entries, and short stories. I've been working on this collection for like 7 or so years now, which is insane. And especially within the last year or so, 6 to 8 months, really, I really buckled down and got done with the last couple of stories, and they were the longest ones, but I haven't been able to write like that in many years, especially typing wise. So that was really nice, and I wrote like over 100 pages, so I was very happy with that. But anyway, so that's the main part. Is technically the first in a series. There will be another one coming out eventually. It'll be a long while. It is called A Treasury of Dreams. But once again, it'll take me a long while. It'll just be another collection. But today, I also wanted to show you the covers. You've probably been wondering, why is there a blank white pieces of paper? But these are the covers. These are not completely final because I printed these out before I changed the sizes of the fonts, but they're pretty close. So here we go. So here is the front cover. Now, of course, this is going to be much smaller because my size is 5.5 by 8.5. That's the size of the paperback. This is obviously a normal paper size, 8.5 by 11. So it's going to be much smaller, and the titles are once again going to be a little bit different sizes. But like I said, there are multiple sections of the collection, and this left one signifies the poems and the journal entries. This one is one of the short story collections at the end, like short story series, I guess, where I did a lot of retellings. This is, of course, the Snow Queen. That's a bit obvious. This one down here is, I technically had 2 versions of this story, of the Island of Screams. This is the Bone Eater. This is what the Bone Eater looks like. That was fun to draw. But anyway, and there's supposed to be a 3rd version of the Island of Screams, but since it's currently under review for literary journals, I was not able to put it in this collection, but it will be in A Treasure of Dreams eventually, or if it gets accepted by one of the literary journals, it'll also be in there. And over here is another series of short stories. This was The Deaths of Falls. These are my siren folk, whatever I want to call them, and I really like how this one turned out. It's a bit hard to see, but anyway. And then this middle thing that's kind of dividing everything is, of course, thorns, but it's supposed to be white because it's supposed to look like bones. So there you go. But this is the front cover. Like I said, the poems are, just a random selection. The journal entries, I would expect most people who don't personally know me not to read those, because they talk about very controversial topics, and they are completely my own opinion, and they also depend on whatever time they were written on as well. But some of them I would recommend reading for anybody who might not know me. Those three that I would definitely recommend for that section would be If People Were Roses. That one's a little bit longer, but it's just basically me contemplating what color of rose I would be if I were a rose, because different colors of roses mean so many different things, and I've always been very fascinated by that. Sorry, my voice is like dying. And then another one would be Labels and Villains. That one kind of explains the dedication I made for the book. And then the last one is Books. It's called Books. So that one is just me ranting about people not reading and, saying they can't find anything that interests them. Have you even looked? That's my question. And it's a funny little rant, that one. But anyway, this will be the spine, sort of. The printer I used for this wasn't exactly the best, so you're not going to see these stinking lines. I don't know why those are there. But anyway, here's what the spine looks like. This is part of the bone thorn. I think I changed this spine just a little bit. And then here is the back cover. So once again, you have the thorn motif. I kind of made it a little bit faded on the back. And then here is the little blue rose that I like to put everywhere. But here's a quote from one of my poems. I usually put a quote from Tombstone or oh my god, what is the other one? The other one that was before Tombstone or something. I can't remember the title of it right now. But they're like really close ending lines. But this one instead is from Burning. So this is the last couple lines. Now you ask who set the world on fire? I did. So I wanted to use something different than the ones I usually use, which you have seen in my journaling videos. But anyway, yeah, I just wanted to give you a brief rundown. I will, of course, be showing the cover a little bit more in depth prior to release, and then after release, or right before release, I will be talking more about the stories and the poems and everything. And yeah, but I think that's pretty much it. Bye.